Okay, welcome to InDaLight, and I'm currently on the floor, and there's a very good reason for that.
Because I made him.
Great. Now we have a special guest with us today. Her name is Danielle Darty. I'd like you to, give them a nice hello.
Hi. Hello.
Okay. So what I wanted to know first is, what was that salvation experience like before you got saved? And how did you get saved? What was that process like? I heard that was a really awesome testimony.
It was really good. I had a lot of challenges in my life, as many people do, and the Lord was just definitely not where I thought I was going to find hope, which sounds funny now, but I found him, and it almost wasn't even voluntarily found. He kind of came over me, and everything inside of me couldn't fight anymore, and I just ran to him super fast. And the first time the Holy Spirit came to me was kind of the same thing. I was at a conference, and everyone was speaking in tongues, and I was pretty sure they all were Spanish, because I had never heard of that before. So I was wondering why all these people were talking in Spanish, and they didn't even look Spanish. And so it was a little confusing. But we went back to our hotel room, and I asked the Lord to give me more of him. And I remember not much. I remember going to sleep, and the next day, the people I was sharing the hotel room saying, "Danielle, congratulations." And I was thinking, well, what am I getting congratulated for? I just slept. And they're like, "The Holy Spirit came on you last night. You were speaking in tongues all night long." And I literally had no clue that happened.
Wow.
So he always comes to me through surprises. And I kind of like that. That's kind of how my spirit is anyway. Very adventurous, and I like surprises. So he knows that, and I like it.
So you blanked out completely?
Yeah. I missed the whole thing. I bet it was amazing, though.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't remember anything. But of course, after that, I was awake when it happened, again. And it was beautiful. I just remember the Lord coming to me. And even then, at a young age, he always came to me through more visual things. He would speak to me, but I would always get pictures, and I would always see colors, and I would always see him in a different way than I guess other people did. And I think that's how it kind of grew into what he called me to do through my painting.
Okay. So now to get to the painting aspect, you said you painted before you got saved, but how long have you been saved now?
I've been saved since I was 14, and I'm 30 now. So
wow. So how did you transition from doing paintings just generally and then now painting for the Lord?
It was, I always had enjoyed art just in general. I'm a very quirky person. And
some on the ground.
Yes. My husband always has said that I see things very differently. But 2 years ago, there was a beautiful lady. We were just talking about it, Candy Masters. And she came to our church, and the music started, and she had this canvas, and the Lord just completely overcame her, and she started moving in the spirit. And I was just telling you, my hands were on fire when I saw it, and I thought, well, Lord, this is something new. Okay, then, whatever this means. And I just worshiped him. I thought he meant for me to raise my hands higher, so I raised them higher. And she came up to me afterwards in a church of hundreds of people and said that she felt like the Lord was telling me that this was my path. This is what I was supposed to do. And I felt the same. And so that's kind of how it happens. She
Wow.
kind of like went straight towards me and she's like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh, okay. But we did. And she said that she saw me with paint on me. And I said, well, I love to paint. And she said, no, I see you with paint on you as your spiritual gift, as what God is calling you to do.
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow, standing up in front of a bunch of people painting, which I normally do in my room. That sounds terrifying. Awesome. Let's do that.
Okay. And then the adventure started.
Shortly after that, we were working with our youth at the time, and we were leaders, and the head youth pastor said, hey, Danielle, I heard that Candy said this is what you're going to do. So tonight, this is what you're going to do at our youth service.
Wow.
And I was terrified. And I pretty much sat in the darkest part of the corner of the church with a canvas that was like this big. And I think I got paint everywhere because I couldn't see it because I didn't want anyone to see me. And it was terrible. I don't even think I heard from the Lord. It was awful. And I said, I don't think this should happen ever again. But afterwards, I prayed, and God had opened up an opportunity where I went to a conference with a bunch of pastors.
Okay.
And they had me stand up in front of everyone, in front of the lights, and I could see my paint. It was amazing. And I prayed a bunch beforehand, and I just remember standing there, not knowing what I was going to do, not knowing the songs that were going to be sung, not knowing anybody in the building, and God just giving me a picture, and I painted it. And it was crazy. And I pretty much blacked out then, too. I don't really know what happened. I just know that I started, and then at the end, there was paint.
A picture.
Yeah, there was a picture. And at the end, one of the pastors came up to me, and he was crying, a grown man. And he said that for years, he had this vision that God had given him. Countless nights, dream after dream, the same vision.
Wow.
And I painted it. And I was like, are you sure? You sure I painted that?
Let's double check that one.
But he was in tears, and he's like, I have to buy this painting right now. This painting was for me. And from that moment on, I knew that if I listened to the Lord, that it would be right. And if I didn't, I'd be in a dark corner making a mess on the floor. So I just needed to listen to the Lord.
Okay. No, that's something pretty amazing, because I think I was watching a video on YouTube before, and I've seen, where they were playing music, and this person, I think he drew a picture of Jesus. And for the life of me, I couldn't find anybody else that did that, that I could get a chance to interview. Thankfully to Auntie Amy, I'll give her the shout out. She told me about you, and I was like, wow, yes, whatever it takes, we'll get this interview done. But what amazes me is that it was so genuine. It wasn't like how sometimes everything is staged? Like, it didn't feel like that at all. Just you guys came in, and then the music started playing, and it was like genuine worship where I could just sit there. It wasn't, I was just watching that show. It was like I was part of the worship, and that's something that grabbed me. Now, tell me a little bit about the details in terms of when you get up, like you bring all the equipment. I know he may tell you what colors to use, but exactly how do you go about starting?
Yeah. Well, every time is different, which always makes it fun because I never know what to expect. My general rule is that I never want to know what songs are being sung. I never want to know what the pastor is preaching on. I don't even get involved in the pre-service prayer situation unless they're already done talking about it and they're just praying.
Okay.
I don't even like to know the where they're going with it. I usually spend quiet time with the Lord beforehand, and I just wait. There's been services where I actually didn't paint anything.
What?
They wanted me to, and I came with all my equipment, and I had my paint and my canvas, but the Lord did not speak to me.
Wow.
And so I was obedient, and instead of just painting something to paint it, I chose to listen to him because that's what it's about.
Right.
I've had times where I was painting and he would literally just almost like paint by number. Red, okay, grab red. Blue, grab blue. And he would tell me where to put it. And then I've had other times where he's given me a number or a picture and I just start to do it. So it just depends on where the Spirit is leading the service and the moment.
Okay. I'm kind of curious to find out what happens when you don't paint anything.
Well, that particular time, they actually loved it. They loved that I didn't because they knew that it was genuinely from the Lord.
Okay.
And I came back. They asked me to come back. And so I did end up getting something when I came back. And it was amazing and powerful. And I was always blown away with what God can do. And I think they were thankful. I think it's just like worship. Like when people get up, there's sometimes during a service where the Spirit comes and it's like you're in worship for hours and hours. And there's other times where you're there and you're like trying to push through because you know they're just singing the songs because it's time and it's Sunday morning and we need to sing it.
That routine.
Yeah. So kind of how it goes.
That's pretty awesome. You know, because there would be like a pressure. If I was like in your shoes at the time, there would be a pressure. I have to put something on this canvas, but to know that you decided not to because he didn't say anything, that's a blessing. What's the most intriguing story that you've gotten after a painting?
I have a few. The one my team wanted me to tell was we were having a service one night and God had given me a vision and it was bricks. So I just started painting an entire canvas of bricks. And as I'm painting them, he tells me a number, which I thought was ridiculous because I'm not going to paint a number on a canvas because that's just silly. And so I pretty much told him no. And I walked away from the painting and someone from our team came up and said that they had a word for me. And they said, Danielle, you're hearing something, but you're not doing it. You need to do it. And I was like, oh, God, why are you so good? So I did it. I painted this number in the breaking of the bricks, and around the number was chains. And I walked away, and normally when I walk away from a painting, I at least have a couple people that come up like during the service, and they'll whisper to me, and they're like, oh, that's really good. I've got something. And, you know, I kind of get a little excited because I'm like, okay, God did good. And this time, no one said anything. And I was like, oh, gosh, this is the weirdest painting I've ever done. And it shows. Well, at the end of the service, like I was literally cleaning up. Everything was done. I had a lady come up to me, and she was in tears. And she said that she's a teacher of a school, a very small private school, that's in a really bad area. And the children have some really awful, awful home lives. And she's the only Christian in her school. And she prays every single day for these kids. And it just happened to be that the number that I put on there was the number of children that are in the school.
Wow.
And the chains that were around the number were breaking. And then there was blood dripping off of it. And she said that she just knew at that moment that was God saying that the chains that were holding those children down by his blood were going to be broken and that they were going to be okay. And so it was so emotional, but it was really good. And she's recently contacted me, and she said that she's seen huge breakthroughs in these kids' lives. And I just love that God could use a painting to encourage even just that one person. It was beautiful. And so it just shows how good he is.
Yeah. No, I've seen like songs, like prophesy stuff. I've heard poetry, like tell stuff that are happening and are about to happen, but I've never seen it in a painting before. And it was like being in here while the painting was being done was cool because I look around like everybody's in tears. And it's like it got to everybody here. Like everybody took a piece of it that was meant just for them. And I know like God works in like mysterious ways all the time. Right? This right here is I never seen happening. And so what I want to know is what's the story behind this painting?
This one. Well, I came in here and I was honestly just really excited to be in God's presence. We all go through times where it seems like he doesn't talk to us, or maybe we don't hear him.
Yeah.
And I just was so excited to come here and just be in this room and just sit with him and hopefully hear his voice. And when I started, it was all light colors, and it was kind of what I was feeling at the time was just kind of life. It was just life happening all around. I was painting it, and he started to make it a little bit messier.
Okay.
And that's kind of how life goes. It gets kind of messy.
Yeah.
And so then he came in and he showed me branches from the tree, and how sometimes that tree can also be intertwined with mess. So there was black for the darkness in our life, and there was white for the goodness that tries to come in. And there was, everything intertwined in that tree. But then at the top, his blood comes down, and I kind of saw his face a little bit in it. And through that, his goodness shines through. And no matter what wilderness we're in, no matter what hard times in our life, no matter how messy it gets, the goodness of him always shines through. And that's kind of what I got from it.
Wow.
But it's definitely up for interpretation. So if you get something else, that is great too. That's just what I got.
Okay, I'll tell you what I got off record.
Good. I love to hear what someone gets.
But what were you getting from? Because you had the violin playing. I always just love hearing the violin playing.
It's so good.
And then you had the piano and the backup singers, and they were just lost in worship. What was that experience for you?
Every time is different. Sometimes I completely zone out. I have no idea what the words are being sung. I have no idea if the pastor's preaching. I just know when I start and when I finish. Other times, the words that are being spoken is what drives me. This time, I think the words were driving me. It was really something special. I honestly felt like I was in my prayer closet, and y'all were just joining in on it. So, but it felt very much like I was alone. Although my prayer closet doesn't usually have backup singers and violinists, and
Right.
I wish it did, but it was beautiful. And I don't know, it was just a special moment with me and God, and I'm glad you guys got to be a part of it.
I'm glad I got to be a part of it. So, how do you know when you're finished? That was something.
That's a good question. Sometimes I'm not. It's weird. I've done paintings where I thought I was done, and I just walk away from it. I pray my final prayer that it'll touch someone in some way, and then I walk away. And the pastor will get up to start preaching, and I'm like, oh no, wait, there's more. And so I have to go finish it. And typically if that happens, I'll wait till the closing prayer when it starts to get a little bit more chill and music goes again. And then I'll go up and finish it. But like today, I just knew. I went to go pick up another color, and I could feel that the color I was picking up was my flesh. It was me wanting to do it. And that's usually when I know, when I start to look at the painting and start to say, oh, well, I could do this, or I could do, that's when I know, okay, God's done and I need to walk away because I'm starting to do it. So no more.
I saw where you were finished. I'm like, can they continue? Like, can
they just keep going?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's for me, that's pretty awesome. I love art. I love music. I love the poetry. But the painting for me, it's always something watching somebody create a piece.
Yeah.
It kind of takes me back to how like God created all of this. And it gives you insight into just how he sees stuff.
Yeah.
And just to hear you interpret it. I was seeing some of the colors come alive and some of the different pieces. I was like, and I was trying to put my own little interpretation to it. But just to hear like him confirm some of the stuff, that's pretty cool. So what's next for Danielle? Like, are you planning to somehow, I don't know, package this for everybody else to see?
It's funny. Like I said before, God loves to surprise me. He loves to not tell me the next step. And I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. I never know the next step, and I like it that way. So I'm good with wherever he brings me, whether that be just more invitations to my prayer closet where you guys just get to be there, that's great. If it's doing it on a bigger scale, I think I've grown enough from that dark spot in the corner of the church with the paint on the floor
Splashing paint everywhere.
where I have this thing about me where I'm okay with me and I'm okay where God brings me. So no matter the amount of people or the least amount of people that are watching, I think I'm confident enough in my spirit to know that I'll just do God no matter what. And whatever that means is good with me.
Right. Well, we want to thank Danielle for coming through and for like just blessing with us with just her testimony and her art pieces. Continue watching the rest of this episode and we'll have her information up so you could contact her just in case you need to. So, in the light, keep watching.
Bye.
Tears, even when you can't hear me, child, even when you can't feel me, even when you have nothing left to pray. Oh, give me those moments, even in my silence, and know I will come and I'll enjoy you there. No, I will come. You ravish my heart in that place of depravity, in that place of the wilderness. No, my child, I'll meet you there, even when Jesus, I say yes, yes. I know you'll meet me in that place, even when, even then, even now. And I believe you love me. I believe you love me. I believe you love me. Even when
I am back with a third one, a recipient of his grace. Come take a taste, you sip it and stay the same, never mate. We different in many ways. This ain't for dividends, this is to medicate. I dedicate this to those who on the narrow road. Pain caused by the arrows thrown. Whole barrel smoke, feeling poised in my apparel tone. These battle clothes are well worn, or worn well all around the globe. It's not just me, many saints around the world. Feeling the strain, running the race, fighting the faith, talking about what we face. Many men still sharing mistakes about a girl. They told me if I like it, I should put a ring on it. So I got excited, even bought a ring, homie. But feelings change, yeah, feelings change. It's back to square one if she don't feel the same. Wait, I thought we'd be together forever. We weather the weather and we'll be down for whatever. If it ever went down, we'll be down there together. I thought wrong. Still I say never God is greater than my past, present on my transgressions. And hers too, know what them words do. Don't say what you don't mean if it only serves you. That means another human being's in the worst mood. What that curse do? Yeah, we fallen humans. Without Christ, watch us fall and ruin our relationships. See what we make of it without him. At the him, holding everything together, thinking we can do it better. Like the I am ain't greater than me. Greater than we. See the ape in the trees, in the seas. He's able to read A to the Z's. We deceased, but God is eternal. Here is decrees. I pray I decrease in my life. He's making me over. Grew up in the faith as a faithful soldier. Any battle that I face with Jehovah. They say they waiting on the kid, well the wait is over. Is this the end? I tell them never, I hope. I'm warming up, GP minus 40 below. You know, the team here for his glory though. Praying this here, make that there, 3-0. Let's go.
Yeah, life, yeah, God only. Yeah, His praises run from my mouth, representing on the shout. Listen, yeah, yeah. Who could I love me like you? Without my mistakes make, without the risk taken, me never see a peace make yet. God am I, God am I, God am I, God am I.